There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
Cuisine with Gene, and Ron Green, the CEO of the Tar River Region Boys and Girls Club, is our guest. And Ron, welcome.
Well, thank you. My kids at the club call me Chef Boyard Green.
Oh,
I don't know if I've earned that title yet, but
well, we'll make that determination after you finish today.
Afterwards, okay.
He's got a really interesting program. When I heard what you were going to make, I thought, and I was told this is an event, folks, and we're gonna learn a lot. I'm looking forward to learning a lot, as well as you're learning a lot as far as what Ron has pulled together and learned in working with boys and girls.
Yes, definitely. I often say this, and then people ask me when I go and I do this demonstration, they say, "What do you mean a fried egg sandwich? How to make a fried egg sandwich and save a community?" And that's kind of what we want to do, is just talk about metaphorically how making a fried egg sandwich. Now, I'm from Mississippi. I grew up in Mississippi. So, fried egg sandwich is like the staple of...
or bologna, one or the other.
Yeah. And, my wife, we're going to say this on the air just so the record, she makes a really good fried egg sandwich, but I think I passed her now, though.
Okay. Robbie, you didn't hear that.
Yeah, you didn't hear that.
Well, wonderful. Well, did you make up this metaphor?
Oh, definitely.
This is original.
Did.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's something that came to me when I was talking about developing young people. So we're going to show you how to make a good fried egg sandwich. I think our butter here is getting, it's getting right. So
one quick question: how long have you been in Rocky Mount?
I've been here almost 12 years now. So,
great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for not only what you've done, but staying and investing in our young people.
Yeah. 12 short years, I'm going to say, because time has flown by. Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Sizzling, what's first?
So first of all, you get you a good, skillet, and on this show you've had some world-renowned chefs and all that here, but they talk to you about the equipment and stuff they use, but just a basic skillet here, you use to make a good fried egg sandwich. Sometimes people use the skillets that they feel like that is more conducive to preparing the meal the way they want it to prepare and to taste. Mm-hmm. Now, first you got to do is you start with a good skillet. Mm-hmm. I add a little butter just for a little flavor. But you got to start with a good fried egg sandwich. You got to start with good eggs, right? Mm-hmm. And eggs come in all different shapes and sizes. As you can see, I got some white eggs, some brown eggs, some speckled eggs, and all of that. And we got that in here. But so today, just for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to use the brown eggs, because the brown eggs, they say, have less calories. So, and I'm trying to be a little bit more healthy in that.
I got you. Well, now, what are these little tiny ones here?
Yeah, those are quail eggs. And a lot of times people like to use these when they're preparing things. I don't normally do a quail egg, but I bought them just for the sake of the demonstration, just to show you the eggs come in so many different, even Dr. Seuss said green eggs and ham. Sam, I am,
I never wanted the green egg, but, whatever. So, okay.
So we're going to make one. We're going to start with the eggs, and we're just going to crack them here. And I'm not a professional chef, so I don't, not really good at cracking the eggs. And we're going to...
I turned it down just a little bit because the butter started smelling like it was getting brown, and I didn't want to...
Yeah, we're going to do 2 eggs here.
Okay.
We'll do 2 eggs. 2 brown eggs here.
Low cal.
Low cal. That's what they say. They're low cal. Okay. And then also, like you said, they come in large, and these are extra large. And as you can see, these are very small. So, you make the choice of what you want to do. And then once you put it in there, put it in and let it start cooking. I like to add a little seasoning to it. So I'm a big pepper guy. So this is some coarse black pepper. And like the guy on the show do a little sprinkle here and there,
Can't tell the difference between you and
I know,
chef
right?
on TV, right? Was it Chef Boyard Ron or what?
Chef Boyard Green.
Boyard Green.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I like a little pepper, so I'm gonna do a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
Also,
and you don't break the yolk?
I don't break the yolk. That's a good point. I don't break the yolk just yet. I like to cook it like this to make sure that it's, at the end, I like a little runny yolk in my egg sandwich. So we'll see that. Now, salt. I don't use a lot of salt, but just for the sake of this, I got some coarse. This is
Kosher?
Himalayan salt.
Himalayan. Oh.
Yeah, Himalayan salt. So I do a little bit of that on there just for a little taste. And then we'll let that cook. Now, once that is cooking, the next thing we're going to get ready to do, we're going to do the bread also. So I just want to talk about the bread while that's cooking, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So as you can see, bread comes in so many different, you got rye bread, you got pumpernickel bread, you got bagel, you got brioche bread. You got all these different breads that you will use, and you have to make a decision on yourself which bread you would like to use. For me, today we're going to use the brioche bread. I like that a little bit more. Even though I eat a little healthier with this other bread sometimes, but yeah. So our eggs are just about ready.
You're going to splurge today and not eat the healthy stuff.
No, I'm not eating the healthy stuff today. We're going to do a little something different today. Let's say when you make the best fried egg sandwich, you want to use the best ingredients. So.
Gotcha. Now, are you going to toast it or are you going to
Oh, yeah, we're going to toast it. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to flip this over right here. Let that cook on that side.
And you didn't break the yolk either,
No,
did you?
I'm not going to break it. Normally, at the house, I have my little skillet and I do a little flipping right here with the little wrist. But
well, I mean, we'd be glad if you want to try that.
no, I ain't want to try that today. We're going to let that ride today.
So
let's let that cook a little bit longer right there.
Now, you chose brown, but we talked about the different types of eggs. Do you want to talk about the metaphoric application of that in the second part? Or
Yeah, we'll do it in the second part. I want to make this egg sandwich really nice first, and then we'll go into the second part. The one thing that I did forget to add on the table right now is cheese, and I need to grab that out of the container right quick. Just give me 1 second.
He'll be back. When you told me you were going to make a fried egg and cheese sandwich, and you gave us the ingredients, bread, cheese, eggs, and we'll put those online so you can see everything that Ron puts in this. But as you explained to me in the beginning, this is a very meaningful, important application.
Yes,
metaphor.
it is. Yes, it is.
And I get the impression that it's evolved from your 12 years here. Were you in did you work in Boys and Girls Clubs before you came here?
Yes, I did. I did work at Boys and Girls Club. I worked at Boys and Girls Club in Mississippi. I worked at Boys and Girls Club in Tennessee. And so I worked at several different organizations. And I've been here longer than I've been in any other organization. So,
and you're going to stay?
Yeah, I'm staying.
Okay.
So it's going to be about 25 years since I've been here. So we work on that. We're working on it.
Good.
So now that my egg is done, so we're going to choose, remember I said the brioche bread? So we'll take that and we're going to add.
Got a little runny there.
Yeah, got a little runny there. And then we'll add this one as well.
Oh, you get 2 eggs.
2. So we're going to take this here. Now what I like to do is I like to add a little bit more butter to the skillet. And we're going to turn it down just a little bit, so it don't cook too fast, all right? So we add a little bit more butter here.
That butter's what makes it good too.
Oh, it's gonna make it really good.
Big difference. Tastes wonderful.
You know, when you say you're from Mississippi, it's all about the flavors now.
Well, I'm glad you saved the calories from the brown eggs so you can make up for it with the butter.
Yes.
We're working on that.
So what we do while it's resting here, we'll take some cheese. I like to use American.
Okay.
We'll put American cheese on there. We'll take another piece. And they say a sandwich is not a sandwich. And you got the other commercial that says about this product you put on it. But I say without 2 pieces of bread. I'm not a big open face guy. So and then we take it and we press that down a little bit and we're gonna put it in the skillet, cheese side down.
Okay.
And let that cook right there. And what happens is that heat from the butter and stuff, it transfers into the sandwich and it'll toast it. And it'll toast it right here.
And this is the type of thing, Ron, that somebody could have any meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
You can have it at any time of the day. I mean, there was times when I've had it for breakfast, I've had it for lunch, or even at night when sometimes I come home and my wife, she's like, hey, what are you on for dinner? I said, I think I might want a fried egg sandwich. It's one of those things you can eat at any time,
It's comfort food.
Yeah, it is comfort food.
My mom made us fried egg sandwiches. It is comfort food, but this is your twist on it, and I'm really looking forward to having you share the significance.
Yes. And see how I'm doing this? I'm pressing down.
Why?
Yeah, so it's almost like you make a grilled cheese, but you got to add a little pressure to it, and you'll understand why in just a minute. But you got to add a little pressure to it just to get it cooked. And then let's see what we're talking about on this side. We flip it over. Look how pretty that is.
That's really,
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty piece of toast right there.
I'm loving this. This is really fun.
When I make food and stuff, I'm all about the presentation too, and I'm kept from cooking for the kids at the club. Whatever, I want the presentation to be beautiful, just as well as the food tastes good.
Well, we eat with our eyes. I mean, that's the first exposure to it is, does that look good?
Yes.
How am I going to like that? So, yeah, I definitely believe that. I bet when kids come to the Boys and Girls Club after school, they're starving.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when I used to get home from school as I was growing a kid and stuff. So do you have lots of snacks for them?
Well, we actually feed them a hot meal. Yeah, and so they get
after school.
After school, they get dinner at the club because we know a lot of our kids will go home and that'll be the last meal they eat. So we make sure that they have a well-balanced meal before they go home.
Great.
Yeah.
And what type of participation do you have? Is it full all the time? You have wait lists or?
We still have space for other kids. You know, ever since COVID, we still have an opportunity to allow more kids to come in. But we're pretty tight in there every day, so it's a good thing. I love when the walls are tight.
Yeah, I bet all those voices, just kids cheering and having a good time and playing.
Yes. That's the sound of kids becoming better young people.
Great. Okay, you want to take a break, and we'll come back, and then you're going to teach us.
I got you.
You're going to make us better people, right?
There we go.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars, and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back, and now we're going to have the deep thoughts. This is Ron Green, who is the CEO of the Tar River Region Boys and Girls Club. Take it away.
So we're gonna take this out. So this is our finished product. We're gonna put it on this board right here and to cut this. And this is one of the things that I love to do. Once I cut it, I like to cut mine down the middle. And then so you can see the awesome cheese in there. So we're gonna put this right here. Yes. So a good fried egg sandwich there. Now let's talk about this.
Okay.
Now one of the things that I did when I first went and got the eggs, I went in and I looked at the carton, right? And I like the egg glands best because when I open it, you get a chance to open it and you look at it and the eggs are in there. You look and see if it cracked. Now, if they're cracked, Jean, if you like me, if there was a cracked one in there, I'm going to fold it back up and I'm going to put it back in the thing.
Yeah.
And I open it up and I don't see any cracks. And then I see this good old stamp that says that it has been cultivated in a great place where you can have good eggs. So that tells me that the cultivation part of whoever the farmer was did a great job. So I like to use these. So once I get my eggs and I take them, then I select my egg. See, if a young person comes to me, there's no stamp on them to say that they're good, bad, or indifferent, right? So what I say is, okay, if they are bad, if they do have cracks, we still got to try to make them into a good fried egg sandwich. We have to do that.
You take everybody.
I take everybody. Okay. And once they come in, whether they are brown, white, a combination, speckled, or as I say, green, we're going to take them into the club. And our job is to help make them into a good fried egg sandwich. And how we do that is, we have to select some good bread. The bread we selected today was the brioche bread, but we got to think about it. Many of our kids have parents, right? Whether it's mom, dad, or they may have grandparent, they may have foster parent, or they may have a mentor. Those are the breads. That's the thing that help keeps them together. So that's very important that you choose wisely on the bread that supports the egg. See, once you prepare that egg, you put it in that skillet, you cooking it, and you making it hot. Sometimes kids are going to go through some heat. But it's the heat is for the preparation for a good egg sandwich at the end. See, if you don't have good heat, like we try to regulate that heat, it's hard to produce something good if you don't have a little heat. So they're going to go through a little heat. But our job is, as the bread, is to make sure we hold it together there.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids don't have two parents.
No.
Does the Boys and Girls Club kind of provide one of those pieces of bread for the kids?
Yes, definitely. The Boys and Girls Club is definitely. And the Boys and Girls Club is just like this skillet. You know, this is where we prepare these young people. And school is just like that. The church is just like that. And that's where you prepare them. So the Boys and Girls Club not only will prepare you, but it would also help support you. Because you got staff members there that's going to fill that gap or wherever they need to fill that gap. And that's the thing that I like about it. It doesn't matter what color you are, what shape you are. Whatever young person that comes in, it's your duty and obligation to make them, to hold them together and be that support for them.
How do you learn what they're like? I mean, it takes a while to really figure out the kids once they come freshly.
Yeah.
Right?
So just like these eggs, right? We know some of them are brown, white, speckled. So inside, it's all going to have a yolk. And that yolk, majority of the time, is always going to be yellow. So we're saying that everyone in the inside is the same. Our job is to figure out how to best prepare them according to the environment that they were produced in, or they were that you know, like a farmer has an egg, he's gonna have the ideal environment for the egg to be a good one. Many of these kids might not come from a good environment. So we got to take them out of that environment and bring them into an environment that's conducive to their growth and development. So that's when I look at that egg sandwich, the seasoning that I put on there, that's like the programs that we use, like Passport to Manhood, Smart Moves, Smart Girls, all those type of things, Goals for Growth. All those different programs are like the seasoning that we put on them when they're in that skillet or in that environment. We put that seasoning on them to help them be better. Because if it make the egg taste better, guess what it'll do if we allow those programs to be inside those kids? It's going to make them better.
Does every kid get to take all the same programs, or do you cherry pick the programs that are most needed by the kids?
So we look at what's going to be best for the development of young people, and studies show that, in different age groups, what programs they use. So we try to make sure that we implement that. And then we also look at the environment they come from. Rocky Mount, I call it a micropolitan type. It's not a metro and it's not really rural. So we had to look at our rural areas and our city areas. And we try to make sure that we allow the programs or add the programs that's going to be best suited for them and what the environment they come from.
Do you have a pretty good support staff, like with your board and all too?
Oh, yes. And see, the board is a piece of bread that helps, support that.
The board is a piece of bread.
It's a piece of bread.
Support, yeah.
It's a support system as well. And we have a really good board, and I thank our board for allowing the staff to do what we need to do in order to help our young people to grow up to be positive, productive, and caring citizens. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. When we put that cheese on there, see, that cheese is going to make it stick. And a lot of times we say, well, you're going to have to look at somebody that's much greater than, I'm not one that runs from spirituality, right? And so, because I want them to know that there's somebody way more powerful than Mr. Green that can be watching you when no one else is watching. So that cheese kind of represents that, to hold it together, make sure that it sticks. Everything that we're doing, it sticks to the young person. So as they grow and develop, they have a better chance of being positive, productive, and caring. And
when no adult is there to be watching them, you've ingrained that in them, so they've got the principles.
Yes. So regardless of whether an adult is in the room or around, or a teacher's in the classroom, they're going to make the best decisions.
Let's talk about your apron there,
Yeah.
the 87 of youth development. What's the significance of that?
So we say kids are in three different categories. They're either 3% of the kids are leaders, 10% are destroyers. We often say, and then 87% are followers. They say, what's the most important group you should look at? And then most people going to always say, I'm either going to have to pay a lot of attention to the 10% or a lot of attention to the 3%. But we say 87% is the one we need to, because they're the followers. They're on the fence. They can go either way. And we want them to follow the 3% to make better decisions. And we also want that 10% to make better decisions so that they can become a 3%er. So that's how the 87 is. We want to make sure that we don't forget the 87, because that's the largest percentage of kids, and sometimes they're the ones that don't get in trouble, they don't say a lot, and sometimes they're the forgotten kids. We want to make sure we keep our mind on them. Either way.
The staff you have, that's really important, isn't it? Tell us about your staff.
So we have an amazing staff. Our staff is, they have so many different talents and abilities. But the one thing about it, they all care. They got a caring heart. And that's what we asked them. We said, we know at Boys and Girls Club, I can train you on how to best take care of a young person. I can train you on best how to implement a program, but I can't teach you how to have that heart for them. You either got it or you don't. Now you can develop it over time. Sometimes it takes just one special kid that gets to you and say, I'm a lifer. I'm a lifer. And that's kind of what happens to many of our young people that comes in, or our staff members that come. There's one kid that pulls their heartstring, and then that's where they are. And that's what board members, some of them, somebody pulled their heartstring, and that's where they are,
We have got to talk about your fundraiser coming up. Desiree would be really upset if we didn't, so tell us about that.
Well, I'm going to start off by saying, the dish is shaped like a fish. So we say, you give a kid a fish, you feed them for a day. You teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime, and that's what Steak and Burger is. It's one of those opportunities where we're giving a meal to help our donors to provide funding for us so we can help feed kids, teach them the necessary things so they can feed themselves for a lifetime. And it's a event where we give the donor a burger and we give the kid the steak. We celebrate them with a steak dinner. And this year we have I think it's the 62nd. He's a lieutenant general, is General Leslie Smith, but he is Inspector General. He was the 62nd, I think, Inspector General. So he's coming to speak. He's a Boys and Girls Club alumni. He's an amazing individual. He's in the Boys and Girls Club Hall of Fame. He's just had so many accolades, and he's going to come to our community and bless us with a word.
And what's the date?
So the date is October 23rd, and I could be wrong, and Desiree might jump on me about that. But we do it at Rose Hill, so it's an amazing event. It's our premier event. And, our kids are, they're so excited. They always want to be on the list to go,
So how important is that funding to the success of the program? How much does it help?
That's our major fundraising event. Many of our kids, they're on scholarships. They don't pay anything to come, but that $10 membership fee or that $20 of their team membership fee, and the rest of the money we raise. So this event is very important for us, because it allows us to do the things that we do to help young people grow and to be positive, productive, and caring. It helps us to make a good fried egg sandwich.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. Well, let's take a break, and you want to taste it when we come back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars, and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
Ron, I can't thank you enough. This was really, really a very special show. And the fact that you put all this thought and love into developing the metaphor for a child was just wonderful.
You'll never eat a fried egg sandwich the same again.
Oh, and I hope everybody watching feels the same way. I mean, this is, we'll talk about the support and the, trying to change their lives, and they're all different shapes and colors and kinds. But, people, not everybody starts off with all the same advantages and same support systems, and thank goodness for the Boys and Girls Club and what you do. October 26th, right?
October 26th, we'll have the 66th Inspector General for the United States Army.
Wow.
He'll be here. He's retired now, but he'll be here to celebrate with us.
And where can people get tickets?
They can call our office at 252-977-9924, or they can email Desiree. And everybody knows D. Dolberry at bgcnec.org.
Great. And to help kids by supporting that. And you're right, the kids who are eating the steak, I mean, they don't get steak very often, do they?
No, they don't get steak very often. So they're excited about the steak. They often do. The coolest thing is seeing the donors cut the steak for the kids, Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
And that's been around. We've done that, celebrated that in Rocky Mount for many years.
Many years. And we're trying to keep the tradition alive. And kids love it. The community love it.
Yeah. Great. What do you think? Want to taste it?
Oh, I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You want to cut a
you want
piece?
to cut? Let's cut
Yeah.
it.
And the
Yeah.
outside's all browned up, toasted.
There you go.
And the,
You want that?
oh,
We'll
yeah,
get
I'll
that
take
piece
it.
there.
I want the big one.
Yeah, get the big piece.
Okay, great.
And we got a little orange for the sunshine. You know what I mean?
Just what you hoped it tastes like, right?
It's good. It's good
Thank
food
you.
right there.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, when you eat this, think about the metaphor and all the kids who need our help. And thank you.
Change your community.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.